My husband Benjamin and I have been married for almost 10 years now. We've got a full-time music ministry where we get to travel the whole country sharing the gospel. And my life is such a blessing and God's doing so many awesome things, but it hasn't always been that way. My name is Heidi and I'm a DMST survivor. When I was about 11, I had a friend who got into modeling. I was always looking for things that we could do together, things that would be fun, and it just sounded like something that we'd just dress up, put on makeup, be girly, have fun together. And then I started to get really into it. I started getting more shoots, getting more professional shoots, getting more magazines, and it just became something that was more serious and less about having fun. Gradually the shoots got a little different. Started to do things like swimsuits and things that weren't as comfortable, but it was just still about just having fun and being pretty and getting praise and looking for something to be good at, looking for something that people told me I was good at. I had this agent who had been with me from the beginning, and I really looked up to him and I really trusted him. I kind of considered him like an uncle or a big brother. And one day he set up a video camera for one of our shoots, and he sat me down and told me to take all my clothes off. No, I'm not gonna do that. And then he came over and took them off for me. And I didn't know what to do. I trusted him. My mother was over there with me because she came to all my shoots, and I thought that if there was anything wrong with what was happening, that my mom would have stopped him. I was only 14 and I didn't know, but I thought, well, my mom would know. The agent paid us a lot of money, and my mom told me, well, we're going bankrupt and you can save the family. I love my mom, I love my dad, I love my family, and if I can do this, if I can be the one to save us, then I'll do anything for our family. She'd take me back to him again and again. And I never felt it was something that I wanted to do, but this is how I make money. This is how I have a family, and we can continue to be safe if I can do this for them. I didn't see that we were doing anything wrong. My agent would tell me that other photographers asked for me specifically and why I should keep doing what I'm doing. I felt wanted. All until one day when I was 14, we had a knock on the door, and it was the FBI. It was a man and a woman who came in, a detective and a social worker. I had no idea why they were there. I was scared because I could see my mom was scared. They sat me down and told me that I was being exploited. I was like, what are you talking about? I villainized the FBI, I villainized the detective, I villainized the people that were coming in to try to help me because I had no idea what was going on. And then they told me that my mother would be going to jail. And so she was arrested shortly after that, and I was taken away. If modeling was taken away from me, if my mom was taken away from me, I needed to find something else to do, somewhere else to fit. It was about numbing with something. So I numbed with school, I numbed with dance, I even numbed with church. But I didn't know what a relationship with Jesus was. So it was all about doing the right things, being the right kind of good church girl. I tried having relationships, but I couldn't actually get into a relationship because all I knew how to do was flirt and try to get a guy's attention. And so when I was 18, I met my husband Benjamin, and we met at a youth retreat, and he was different. We tried to have a relationship, and it didn't go well. And so eventually we broke up. Right before we broke up is actually when I found Jesus for myself. We went to Passion, and I heard a message talking about what's the foundation of your joy. And I realized that Jesus was not the bottom of anything I was seeking. He was not the bottom of my joy. I sought Jesus for myself, and Benjamin and I became friends. We became brother and sister in Christ, and we sought Christ together. We got married in 2013, and at that time I thought that everything would be perfect. I was so wrong. I started having panic attacks. I started trying to kill myself, trying to harm myself. There was so much I was holding on to, so much in my heart that I didn't understand, that when we got married, it all came out. And it wasn't until 7 years into our marriage that I read an article on trafficking. I came to Benjamin, like, this is me. And I just had this breakthrough crisis of trying to finally figure out what was going on in my brain, calling it what it was, calling it abuse, calling it trafficking, saying that it wasn't my fault, figuring out what my identity was in Christ. It wasn't modeling, it wasn't this, it wasn't that, it wasn't anything else I had tried. It could only be as a child of God. Street Hope is an organization that I always dreamed and hoped existed but didn't know was out there. I knew how much their work was needed. I knew how much Garland Oaks was needed, knowing how different my life would have been if I had had an organization like this, a house like this, someplace that I could feel safe, someplace that believed me. Because survivors, they just want to be believed, they just want to be loved. And Straight Hope believes survivors. It's a place that survivors can be heard, and it's a place that can prevent it from happening to others. Garland Oaks is a place where girls can heal. They can find that healing now with people that love them and care about them and believe them. My name is Heidi, and I'm a DMST survivor, and there are so many more out there just like me, and they need your help.